D&D Players, what was the dumbest PC death you've ever seen? Let us know in the comments below. Elf Ranger on the brink of death. We were fighting in a bell tower of a church. He shot the rope holding the bell and jumped under the falling bell, hoping it would land around him and cover him in a metal dome. He rolled a 2 on the dexterity check and got knocked out underneath the bell, so we couldn't heal him before he failed his death saves. Playing Tomb of Annihilation. Paladin drinks from Mystery Fountain. Rolls a d4. 2. Gets 3d6 temporary HP. Ta-da! Ranger decides to try his luck and drinks 2. Rolls a d4, gets a 3. Turns into a woman. Panics, drinks again, rolls d4, gets a 4. Can't speak or vocalize for an hour. Drinks again, gets a 1. At this point, he gets hit with a disintegrate spell. We yell at the Ranger to stop, heal her, and move on. Ranger tries to seduce the next enemy we find, fails. Ranger goes back to the fountain. Rolls 2. Gets 3d6 temp HP. We give up on convincing the Ranger. Ranger drinks again, rolls a 1, disintegrated. Bro died from an optional trap in Tomb of Annihilation. She failed an athletics check and fell down a ventilation shaft. Then she failed the second athletics check to catch herself. Then she failed the third athletics check to wedge herself in the vent. Then she failed the fourth athletics check that the GM just threw her out of pity. I will note she was a rogue and had expertise in athletics. Then I've never seen so many 5s and 6s on a fall damage roll. Ended a dungeon with 1 HP left. Was at the tavern doing our thing, and I asked a dragonborn woman if dragonborns had nipples. The resulting slap took my last hit point and I failed the death saving throws. This was my last night with the group before leaving town, and I had previously told the DM I wanted to go out in style. The PC was me. Higher level game. We were fighting an invasion of essentially aliens trying to take over a castle kingdom that we were working for. Back in AD&D days, I was a multi-class fighter wizard. I had an item that let me fully control a sphere of annihilation it created for 10 rounds week. Had not used it in a while. Invaders were using airships, basically like a hot air balloon to bring in troops. I flew up, started using my sphere to carve holes in the gas bag part of the ship. Another player flies up, decides to cast a fireball into the hole I'd made. Entire ship detonates into a massive ball of fire. It was only then my friend said, "You're immune to fire, right?" Of course I wasn't. Most everyone else was. Instant incineration for me. Same character after getting a resurrection from the king of the castle we'd saved. A couple of adventures later, we're on our way to fight the elder being that had unleashed the invasion above. He's got a stronghold deep in the biggest desert of the world. On the way there, we stop at an oasis to rest and replenish supplies from a dungeon we'd gone through to get part of what we needed to get inside the stronghold. Big Bad Evil Guy has this guy who'd been a thorn in our side for a number of years named Dezo. Campaign lasted over 10 years from the time I joined. They'd been playing for about 5 at that point. He had an artifact that allowed him to slow time around him, gave him a way to get away from us every time. But it didn't work if he was immersed in water. I managed to surprise him and tackled him into the oasis spring. Main wizard of the party casts lightning bolt at the guy, couldn't understand why I took double damage, compounded by me rolling a 1 for the save, when he argued that, "Oh, I cast it at Dezo, not Elegance, so the bolt should have gone right by his side, not hit him." Took us a good 15 minutes to explain to him what electricity does in water. Only 2 times I died in that entire campaign were to other PCs, not the DM. Jumping over a very small crevasse of lava, holding all of the group's wealth in a bag of holding. "Just don't roll a 1, we joked. Poof! So I guess technically that wealth exists in a pocket dimension somewhere. Exploring a dungeon. Most of the party got hit hard by an encounter, so we retreated to rest and recover, except for one PC who hadn't been hit or used resources in the encounter. While the party was asleep, they decided to sneak away and, scout ahead. Yeah, we never saw them again. Didn't even find his body. In a siege situation, players are taking cover behind the stonework on top of the castle. One says to the other, "One of us should moon those archers." Bard died with 8 arrows in his butt. Druid got annoyed at a wolf, wild-shaped into a cheetah to chase it when it fled. Party couldn't keep up, caught up to it, proceeded to get murdered in 1 round. Oh, me. I died in slow motion as someone cast Featherfall on my PC as I fell into a pit of lava. I was gonna fall either way, but the Featherfall reaction spell just made fucking everyone at the table laugh for like 20 minutes, as all of them were out of range to save me before I landed in the lava. That poor character had to be screaming in anguish mentally and physically. A player cast Ice Knife, knowing that it had an area effect. He also knew one of the PCs was in the area, but chose to cast it anyway. The PC was his wife's sorcerer. His actual wife. She was less than pleased when she got killed by him. She failed her saving throws. Kinda wish I was there when they got home. Picking a fight with the ruler of a magiocratic city-state over misunderstanding and then refusing to back down. Honorable mention, didn't result in the death but came close, goes to telling an archfey that you want to visit the Feywild. Didn't die, but nearly died, failing to keep consciousness and falling face first into a puddle of water. Rolled to wake up on the last fail save. Opening game session. Door to dungeon with a locked door. The rogue tries to lockpick the door, fails to see the arrow trap. Arrow trap crits and kills the rogue. The rogue erased his character's first name and renamed him something close and tells the group, "Have you guys seen my twin brother?" Party of 3 tried to fight a storm giant and one of them, the rogue fighter, died. Got resurrected an hour later and decided that, bear in mind the -4 penalty to all D20 rolls, to go back in alone because the spellcasters were all completely depleted. The fight went underwater and only the rogue still had water breathing. Unsurprisingly, trying to roll stealth with a -4 penalty doesn't go well, and he died again 10 minutes later. I ran an episode at sea where the party's ship encountered a vessel adrift, apparently without crew. The party's fighter has a history of being greedy in character, being a former bandit. That will be important later. They went inside and found a table set for dinner, sconces lit, and everything in place like people had just left. There was a hallway through a series of 4 rooms, then a ladder down to a cargo hold with a treasure chest full of gold and jewels. Anyway, when they get down there, the mimics attack, starting with the ladder they descended from. Beds in each of the 4 rooms are mimics too big to fit through the door, but with attack range to hit people in the hallway as they run by. Initiative is rolled. Round 1. Instead of saying, "I take the disengage action," and just running down the hallway and out of danger, everyone starts doing other random shit. They all get grappled and adhered by mimics. Everyone except the fighter. He stays down in the cargo hold and asks if he can use his action to scoop gold into his backpack. I say sure. Roll 3 d20. He gets like 40 gold. Round 2. Adhered people are getting chomped. Several players were already at low HP, so it's looking grim pretty quickly. It comes up to the fighter's turn. "Can I scoop more gold?" "Sure." Roll 3 d20. Round 3. First party member goes down, one of them escapes and makes it out of the danger zone. They would eventually get everyone else back on their feet and out of the encounter. But just for now, the other 2 are still grappled, one of them dying. "Can I scoop more gold?" Roll 3 d20. Round 4. Second PC down. We've now got 2 PCs in death saves when all anyone had to do was disengage. Fighter. If I used my shovel, would that let me scoop more gold into my backpack than using my hands?" "Sure, potentially, sure." Roll 1d100. Round 5. Now, at this point, everyone is bitching at the fighter. He finally vaults up out of the cargo hold, nailing a wicked high athletics check to look cool as hell as he joins the fray. Now, by this round, the free player got everyone back up and they disengaged and left. But due to order of initiative, this happened after the fighter's turn. He had initiated combat with the mimics trying to be valiant. With all the other targets gone, they battered him around that hallway with their sticky tongues and chomped him to pieces. He got adhered and failed to break out on round 6 and was bitten to death. The entire ship was in fact a mimic and began secreting acid inside the hull at one point, so by the time the fighter was down, everyone took their paltry amount of HP and ran. It was dumb as hell, but it was fucking epic commitment to the bit. TLDR, greedy former bandit fighter wastes 4 rounds of combat stuffing gold into a bag while friends are getting slaughtered by mimics, ends up being the only one killed and eaten. The artifact is powerful and has several abilities, but if it's out of charges, it will draw power instead from your life force. It is currently drained of all charges from when the quest boss used it repeatedly during the fight. Cool! It has an ability to command undead. Yes, that's how the quest boss had so many, and you may notice there were some zombies we didn't kill earlier in the dungeon. I'm going to go take them over. Table arguing. No roll necessary. The zombie is such a low CR, it automatically succeeds. You take over the zombie. Now reduce your maximum HP by dice rolls. Huh. Well, I do it again on the next zombie. Table arguing. Are you sure? Dude, the DM asked, are you sure? That's DM speak for don't do the stupid thing. Table arguing. Fine. Dice rolls. With that, your maximum HP is reduced to 0 and your soul is consumed by the artifact. Do I still control the zombies? Guy ran across a wild riot in a town square chasing after an NPC they hated. It was wild that they hated this NPC so much, because he really didn't do much to them. But them's the breaks, I guess. Sometimes your PCs just decide they hate this guy so much. He gets way ahead of the party, corners the NPC in a building, attacks him, and realizes that he, as a mid-level beatdown rogue, is not going to beat this full HP fighter bard in a straight-up fight. So he gets his grenades out, all of them, and detonates them, thinking he'll survive somehow after using evasion and ending up at 0 HP or something. Dude with 45 HP max, probably 20 total, fails his dex roll, which was high, and takes something like 200 damage. They only found his tiefling horn, but he killed that random bard all right. PCs fought their way up a tall tower. Bad guy used a secret door to bypass the party, and they missed it on their perception checks. Party got to the top of the tower to see the bad guy riding off into the sunset. The barbarian said, I rage and jump off the tower. The monk followed him using his slow fall ability. The sorcerer also jumped. I asked them, are you sure you want to do this? Oh, they said yes. I informed them that it would be max fall damage. They said yes anyway. The barbarian rolled well on the fall damage and resisted half, so he stayed up. The monk went down but was picked up by the barbarian. The sorcerer had elected to jump when already at low HP, rolled near max falling damage, and instantly died to the massive damage. He actually would have still died at full HP, as they were only level 3. To this day, I don't understand why he jumped. He was not a new player, he knew the fall and massive damage rules, and he's not dumb. He just said, aim for the bushes, and die. Aim for the bushes! Hey everyone, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know in the comments below. D&D Players, what was the dumbest PC death you've ever seen? And if you ever want to support the channel, make sure to join our membership program. It helps keep us fed and cool in the summer and warm in the winter. We love you all. Please be safe, happy, and healthy. Toodaloo.